What's good, Niner fans? It is officially Rams week. Week 1 is in the books. What a wild ending to week 1. I don't know if you guys saw that. Jets Bills game overtime. Josh Allen he falls to 0-5 in overtime games. I'm not gonna hate Josh Allen, but I mean, it just didn't look like this elite quarterback. But we're not here to talk about the Bills. We're not here to talk about that. Shout out to Robert Salah though. Big dub for Big Bob, man. Good game for him. That was rough to see Aaron Rodgers go down early. They're saying it's probably an Achilles, but hope nothing but the best for the Jets. But the 49ers now get to move on, and it's officially time to set our focus on the Rams after a blistering win in week 1 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a good win. It was a dominating win. Again, we've talked about it all day yesterday. It was a very, very satisfying win. But now it is going to be a divisional game with the LA Rams. We all know how much this team loves to play the Rams. It's kind of one of those games over the last couple of years that's been their rebound game when they needed a big win and they were kind of backs against the wall. They've played the Rams and dominated them. Now they came off a very big start to the season, and now they want to keep the momentum going. So can the Rams handle the Niners this coming week? I don't know. They beat the Seahawks, and I'm not going to lie to you. I was pretty surprised that the Rams beat the Seahawks. I don't know about you in the comments, but I felt like the Seahawks were going to beat the Rams. A lot of people were picking the Seahawks to win this division, not me, but a lot of analysts were saying Seahawks might beat the Rams. Or Seahawks might win the division. They for sure were going to beat the Rams. So I was surprised. The Rams played good. They didn't have Cooper Kupp out there. They've lost a lot of players. They don't have Jalen Ramsey anymore. So I didn't expect this team to come out and win week 1. So definitely surprised me. It's a division game against the Niners coming up, and it was a division game this weekend against Seattle. So the division brings out the best in teams, and that is what's going to happen this Sunday in SoFi Stadium in Levi's South, as we all love to call it. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this. So Fern says the Niners are the favorites to win the Super Bowl. I mean, if you watch them this weekend, you should agree with that. I mean, this team, the 49ers, look like the best team in the NFL. You can argue Dallas looked pretty damn good too. They took care of the Giants, but are the Giants just bad? Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how good the Giants are going to be this season, but it looks like they overachieved last year. Danny Dimes getting $40 million. May not have been the moves. Yeah, what's good? Real Teal says, what's good, Raj? Tom Brady to the Jets, confirmed. Rodgers out for the season. Is it confirmed? Did they confirm it? I don't have my notifications on. So let's turn my other phone on. Is he out for the season? That is unbelievable for the Jets. That's sad. That is sad to hear. But you know what? The 49ers, let's talk about these injuries, because today there was Kyle Shanahan had a press conference with the media, and he said today that there are no injuries. No injuries. You got to love that. No injuries for the 49ers after a very tough, hard-fought game. That, to me, was music to my ears. No injuries. No injuries. No injuries. I saw that notification, and I was like, Oh, yeah, you're right. Boom, breaking news. I just got the update. Robert Salah says it's not good as the Jets fear a torn Achilles. Oh, wow. That field is cursed. Let's talk about this real quick before we shift gears into the LA and everything else. Let's kind of recap about this. Beast Mode's right. That field is cursed. MetLife, the stadium, the Jets playing. You remember in 2020, man, Bosa tore his ACL. Solomon Thomas also tore his ACL in that game. Raheem Mostert got hurt in that game. Jimmy Garoppolo got hurt in that game. Literally, Arik Armstead, I think, got hurt in that game. Everybody got hurt in that game. We played the Jets, and I just remember that game was a sinking feeling. We won, but I remember sitting there thinking, I don't think we really won this game. I do not think we won this game because we ended up having so many injuries. So many injuries. I didn't like that game. So, yeah, they got to fix that. The Niners and a lot of other players have been fighting for, to ban turf in the NFL. And maybe one day it might take a player of Aaron Rodgers, of his magnitude, to change things. I mean, unfortunately, injuries are part of the game, but come on, man. You want to see your best players go out there. I was sad. And Aaron Rodgers, fourth play of the game. This guy was the big offseason acquisition, and he goes down. It's unfortunate. So Anthony says, is Kittle feeling good? He's been battling his groin for a minute. Yeah, little tight groin, but he was good. He played. He said he felt good coming into the game. It was precautionary, and they just got to be safe with George Kittle. So that's really what it comes down to. As just got to be safe with George Kittle, and he played. He had a couple plays. He was blocking a lot, and he was doing the George Kittle stuff. He didn't have a monster game, but I think he's fine. He wasn't on the injury report, and that to me is beautiful right there. So 6 players got injured in that game against I think it was something like that. It was. I just remember Nick Bosa going down, and I was so done with the season. I was like, oh, come on, man, Nick Bosa's done. I was so mad. I was just so upset that night. I remember sitting there, just not good. So, what was I gonna say? Yeah, no. So, anyways, yeah, SoFi Stadium. It is turf. It is turf. I don't like SoFi. I've been to that stadium a couple times for different games and stuff. I get a headache there. They got fake crowd noise. SoFi Stadium's a weird stadium. They got fake crowd noise pumped in. Like, you can hear it. They generate the noise. It's like just a tacky stadium. There's just blue strobe light all over the place. You get a headache. And now they're filming some movie. They got AI fans there. They might keep the AI fans there. They got AI fans at SoFi Stadium for a movie. But, it is what it is. That stadium is terrible. The 49ers always take over that stadium. Gabe, it's not a torn ACL. It's a torn Achilles. It's an Achilles tendon. It's unfortunate for Rodgers. Fake crowd noise last year when he went there. Yeah, Drips, they literally use fake crowd noise. So. Yeah, torn ACL. Torn ACL is not the injury. It's a torn Achilles. I'm looking at Adam Schefter right now. He says that Robert Salah, the MRI is going to confirm what we think we already know. It's unfortunate. Injuries suck, man. Injuries are the worst part of the game. That's why I'm just glad that the 49ers didn't have any injuries today on the injury report. Like, that was one of the best pieces of news of all week, all month. Like, it was a victory Monday, but that was the biggest victory of the season. Was we walked away week 1 without any injuries. I hope that we can keep that up the rest of the year. I hope we can get through these games without injuries, but you never know. It's knockdown, drag out league, man. It's tough. It is definitely tough. Thoughts about Wilson? I think it was that was not an easy spot for Wilson. He came in and handled himself as best as he could. I didn't expect him to come out and win that game. Obviously, the Bills, they made a lot of turnovers. The defense of the Jets played good, but Wilson was poised and he led them down to that game. It was initially the game winner until the Bills tied it. So, yeah, Wilson played better than I expected him to play. Shout out to him, man. You think Rodgers is going to retire? I think he'll consider it. It's unfortunate for him. It's a really rough injury. He had a calf injury coming into this game during the offseason, so it's unfortunate for him. No injuries, Christine. Yeah, that is good. And that sets up well for the 49ers going into the Rams, is no injuries, full team. The Rams right now, they have Cooper Kupp out with the hamstring injury. But, their receivers stepped up this weekend. The Atwell guy looked good. Puka Nacua from BYU, the rookie 5th-round pick, like that guy really stepped in and played well. And then again, Atwell, solid receiver. He's been in the league for about 2 or 3 years now. The guy's really good. So he stepped up in the absence of Cooper Kupp. And again, it's a division game. Division games are absolutely tough, no matter the record. You throw the record out in a division game, and that's what's going to happen against the Rams. It's going to be one of those things. And right now, they're up on the division. They are up on the division because they beat Seattle. So the 49ers have to take this win. If the 49ers beat the Rams, and they'd go up probably to first place. Couple things about Shanahan. He did talk about Javon Kinlaw, he says that he took a step forward from last year. He mentioned, a lot of big plays. And if you watch the film and you watch a couple of the plays, Javon Kinlaw did have a good game in terms of his ability to disrupt the run. He needs to keep it up, but definitely he did get some credit from Coach Shanahan today. And that's nice. That's a guy that hopefully he can continue to develop. This D-line was wrecking shop last night. And I think if Kinlaw can get better and stay healthy, he can have a positive presence on this team. With Hargrave, he changes it for everybody. I love Javon Hargrave, and I think with him, it kind of set the tone for these other defenders, and that's what I noticed is like Kinlaw started stepping up, and guys like that started stepping up. He did also talk about Jake Moody. He says eventually he wants Jake Moody to take over kickoff duty. Last night we saw Wisnowski take it, but they didn't want to rush Jake Moody back from the injury. They just wanted to get him back in there, get his mind right. But eventually, Jake Moody, he's going to be the guy that does it all. Kicking, kickoffs, the field goals, the PATs. Like, they have a big plan for Jake Moody. And I think that is the reason why they couldn't get Robbie Gould back this year, because they wanted this kicker to do it all. Robbie Gould only takes field goals. He's not kicking off and stuff like that. They don't want to have Mitch Wisnowski doing everything. So you want the punter to punt and your kicker to kick. That's why they got Jake. So shout out to Jake Moody. He had a bounce-back game. He needed this performance. He also said that he felt Nick Bosa was impressive in the run game, considering it was his first game back. But you got to remember, he was getting doubled. He was getting tripled. He was on a snap count. But he was actually the 49ers' highest-graded defender, according to PFF. I know you don't look at the box score and think he was impressive, but Nick Bosa had a pretty solid game in terms of, stopping the run, setting the edge, and things of that nature. But he was getting doubled and tripled. But once he gets his sea legs back under him, Nick Bosa is going to wreck shop with Hargrave. It's only a matter of time till Nick Bosa revs it up. And I think next week against the Rams, Nick Bosa, Rams, that's the perfect medicine for Bosa to just, go crazy, get back in shape, get back, to where he needs to do and wreck shop. So we'll see what, Shanahan has planned for Bosa. They didn't want to overwork him 30 to 40 snaps. That's what they limited him to. You could tell he was getting a little tired. He didn't have his footing under him, but he still was wrecking the game. And he's getting triple teamed out there. He still has an impact on the game, even though he was getting triple teamed out there. So I think Nick Bosa will just get better and better as the time goes on this season. He wasn't in training camp. He wasn't in practice. He's in shape. He was in shape, but the problem was he just doesn't have he's a little rusty. That's the word. He's rusty. So Kyle Shanahan also talked about Colton McKivitz, right? He says that was the toughest matchup that you could probably imagine for Colton to have in week 1. And he says he'll do better next week. Well, he better. Like, Kyle Shanahan expects McKivitz to get better. He wants him to improve, and he says, TJ Watt's a tough matchup. Now the thing about Colton McKivitz, and I get it was a tough matchup against TJ Watt, but we can't baby walk him. We can't hold his hand and say, oh, it was a tough matchup against TJ Watt. This guy needs to figure it out quick. I get it. He's a developing player. He's still young and developing, and he hasn't really had a lot of starts. But Colton McKivitz has got to develop ASAP, because the 49ers play a lot of good defenses with a lot of good edge rushers, a lot of good defensive linemen. So I hope he can step up. TJ Watt's tough. He's one of the toughest in the business. But you still have Aaron Donald coming. You got Myles Garrett. You got Micah Parsons. It's not going to get easier. But I think one thing that's going to help Colton McKivitz, obviously playing against good players is going to make him better. But playing against Nick Bosa in practice, this is one thing we talked about a few weeks ago during the whole Nick Bosa saga. The one thing that I think we needed Nick Bosa really, obviously he's in shape. He didn't need to sit there and work out every day because that's what he's doing. But he needed to help Colton McKivitz and these offensive linemen. His presence in training camp, his presence in practice makes them better. Right? It's going to make them better. And I think now that Colton's going to be going up against Bosa, Bosa's going to make Colton better as a right tackle, as a player in this league. So that's what's going to help this team moving forward with Nicholas John Bosa helping out Colton McKivitz. Colton needs it. Colton needs this, man. It's going to help him get better. I agree. Every game Bosa gets held. This guy gets held, triple team, quadruple team. He's getting choke slammed. He's getting everything. Rock bottom in the game. Then they put the highlight of, the player getting a pancake on him. I feel bad for Nick Bosa. All he does is gets held. And then they get a pancake on him, and oh, look, Nick Bosa, he's rusty. Bro's getting triple teamed every play and held. It's not fair. It's not fair. But overall, 49ers defensive line was very dominant. And again, Drake Jackson was the biggest winner out of everybody on this defensive line. Clelin Ferrell played good, but Drake Jackson, man, this guy leads the NFL in sacks after week 1. He's tied with TJ Watt. But Drake Jackson to be tied for the NFL lead in sacks is crazy to me. That is crazy to me. Crazy to me. After last year, he had 3 sacks. And today, he has 3 sacks. Young Max says, my prediction, 49ers versus Jets in the Super Bowl ain't happening. Yeah, unfortunately, unless Zach Wilson can have a magical run. But that's just sad for Aaron Rodgers, man. I really thought it was going to be the Jets versus 49ers. That's a rough injury for Aaron Rodgers. That sucks, man. It's a very crappy injury. Yeah, there goes my prediction. I guess I jinxed them. If anybody wants to blame me for that, I guess you can. I don't like that, but I guess I jinxed the Jets. Let's hope I don't jinx the 49ers. Which I already think I do anyway. So let's see. What do you guys think? Thoughts, questions about last night's game or yesterday's game? Not even that. It was a morning game, super early. What do you guys think about yesterday's game? Things we haven't talked about? Pretty sure we've talked about everything. And maybe what do you guys think about the Rams game? What do you guys think? Any matchups you're looking forward to? What are your thoughts so far? It's early. It's just week 1 that finished. And, it's Monday. We still have a whole week of preparation. But we know the Rams. They're no strangers to us. So, am I going to the Rams games this Sunday? No, I'm not going to the game this weekend. Like I said earlier, I got to start packing. I got to move in a couple of weeks. So, I'm going to start packing this weekend and watching the game and all that good stuff. Captain badge. Yep, we got the captain badge on. We got the captain. I'm going to start wearing this captain badge. I'm going to wear it to work tomorrow, see what they say. It's because Rodgers dapped up Jake Paul, did he? That's tough. I say the Ravens or Bengals versus the Niners in the Super Bowl. I don't know. Bengals didn't look strong. Joe Burrow, I think he's still dealing with the calf injury. Calf injuries are scary, man. They are scary. You got to make sure that calf is 100% before you go out there and play ball. Ravens, I don't know. I just don't think the Ravens are strong enough. I do like their team. I don't know. After the Jets went down today, they had a lot of hype. Maybe the Miami Dolphins, they looked flat out amazing yesterday. I don't think the Bills make it to the Super Bowl. Last week, I was talking with Jake from Uncovered NFL, and he said he doesn't think the Bills are going to be a playoff team. And after tonight, you got to start thinking maybe they won't, because Josh Allen, man, he turned the ball over a lot. He's kind of, I don't want to say he's overrated, but I don't know. I mean, he's a phenomenal player, great athlete, but he makes a lot of mistakes. So, yeah, honestly, 49ers, man, they look like the best team out there in the NFL. Bottom line, defense was crushing, offense was moving, and they're only going to get better. Madden curse, bro? Yeah, 100%. It seems like a Madden curse, doesn't it? Josh Allen, Madden, it could be the Madden curse, man. I don't know. I think that Madden curse is for real. You know who else is for real? Brock Purdy. Micah Parsons gave him a lot of credit today on his show on Bleacher Report today. Say he's a top 15 quarterback. Don't sleep on him. Although I know Parsons doesn't want to talk trash about the Niners because he knows how it goes. But, honestly, the whole interview, I watched his show. He was very respectful. He had some really good takes, man. He said, don't sleep on Drake Jackson. And he had a lot of respect for Nick Bosa. His last year, he was the best player. He won the award fair and square. He says, until I get that award, I'm not the best player in the league. I got to work hard to get that award. So I got respect for Parsons after watching that, man. I got a lot of respect after watching that and seeing him, really respect a lot of players in this league, not just, Purdy. Obviously, that's cool to see that, but he's got a good mindset, man. He's a good, he had a really good mindset. I think he had a lot of good takes, man. He definitely humbled himself on that one, S4. A lot of times I heard Parsons, talking reckless on Twitter, but I think he's starting to mature, and he said some really good things on that whole podcast. So I recommend it. If you go on the Bleacher Report app, you can watch it, The Edge. It's with Micah Parsons. He's going to have his weekly show there. I'm looking forward to it. I think he had a really good show today, and he was very respectful to a lot of players. He kept it 100. And, it's refreshing to see players' takes and things like that. Debo's got a show tomorrow. he's doing with Dan Orlovsky. I can't remember the network it's on, but he's got a weekly show he's doing. So it's pretty cool to see the players, branching out and doing their social media thing because they're not going to be playing forever. They got to start preparing for their future. So what happened to my other YouTube channel? No, I mean, I still have it. I'm just transitioning to this one. That channel, unfortunately, wasn't able to get monetized. I tried multiple times. So we're just starting new. We're just starting a fresh new channel. And hopefully everybody that was following that channel can come on over here. We had to just do a fresh start. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. That's social media sometimes. And, I've been doing it for many years. So now just got to restart, rebrand, and regroup. It sucks because I had a pretty big YouTube page, but, it kind of sunk with all the, red tape with YouTube. There's just a lot of behind the scenes stuff with YouTube that happens when you're trying to monetize and get your YouTube platform on the YouTube partner program. And it's just unfortunate because they don't really look at your page. They see you posting similar stuff to other people. And if I'm not monetized, they're going to be like, oh, you're just reusing everybody else's content. Even if I posted it 3 days before someone else, or a highlight, like if it's even a highlight from my phone, they can't distinguish if it's, the same content everybody else has. So it's unfortunate. So for now, we're just going to have to do live shows here and go from there. You like the captain badge? I like the captain badge too. If you go to the Niner pin, Tommy Nello, he makes all these pins. I got this one from him. You think the Chiefs can run it back? I mean, they got Patrick Mahomes. They got Chris Jones back today. They'll have Travis Kelce back. They're going to be a force. They're still going to be a good team. They're going to be a playoff team. I definitely think that the Chiefs are going to be in the run towards the end of the season. When the playoffs come around, I mean, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes is still a dynamic duo. You can't escape them. They lost to the Lions, but you got to remember the Lions played them, and they didn't have Kelce or Chris Jones. So I think with those two guys back, you're going to see a whole different Chiefs team. So I definitely think they could run it back. Hopefully, if they make it to the Super Bowl and the Niners play them, we can get a little revenge. That's what I'm hoping for. It'd be nice to get some revenge on the Chiefs. See, we'll do a couple more questions, and then we'll hop out of here. Just wanted to do a quick show, get ready for this week coming up. I'm excited. The 49ers are 1-0. The Rams are 1-0. And now we go toe-to-toe. How are the 49ers going to look against the Rams week 2? Rams were underrated right now. I think a lot of people are discrediting them. I think everybody expects the 49ers to go in there and mollywop. Again, it's a division game. I still think it will be a little bit closer than, people are going to say. But you never know. The 49ers offense, if they start cooking like they started to last week, it's going to be hard to stop this team. You remember last year, Debo cooking ankles. Uh-oh. Remember that game? Uh-oh. Shook Jalen Ramsey. All the memes that came out. I am going to miss not having Jalen Ramsey on the other side because, man, oh, man, that was such a good rivalry. Jalen and Debo and all this trash talking. But now you got Debo and Aaron Donald and all the trash talking about them. They've had a big history. Who? We all remember that. And then you also have, Dan Brunskill, who was a big part of this rivalry. He's not going to be there. No more Dan Brunskill. So we're going to see. The rivalry has evolved over the years. It's always been a big-time rival. But I think it's going to be fun to see, some newer guys evolve, in this rivalry. Last year you had, again, CMC hat trick. That was an amazing performance. When he had the 3 touchdowns, that's when I knew. I was like, oh, my God, this team has arrived. It's different. When he came, it was unbelievable, man. Because I remember the week before, we lost to the Chiefs, and it was like, oh, we got CMC for – a lot of people are like, they traded, didn't even help us, and this and that, and everybody was down and out. Then the Rams, here comes the medicine. It was the medicine. The Rams, they came to town, and the Niners just went out and demolished them. It was like a whole different team than we had seen from early in the season. They struggled 3-5. Niners flipped the switch, and after that, they did not look back, and that was absolutely amazing. And I remember just so many big moments playing the Rams over the years. Fred Warner pick 6, Talanoa Hufanga pick 6, Jimmy Ward, man, big pick. There was so many moments over the years, and now we're gonna get to see more. Debo Samuel, big plays against them. Christian McCaffrey, so many plays over the last couple of years. George Kittle has some big plays against them. This is a fun rivalry. Always big things happen. I can't wait to see what's next, man. And the guy that I think already, it's week, it's the end of week 1. We haven't really started to prepare for the Rams, but I already think going into week 2, Deebo Samuel is going to cook the LA Rams, man. Oscar says it became a real rivalry when they moved to LA. It truly did. It truly did. Although when they were the St. Louis Rams, man, they would kick our teeth in. They had Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Aziz, what was that receiver? Aziz Azakim or something, and then Torrey Holt, Isaac Bruce. They had some dogs on that team, man. They had some good players. They would kick our butts, and then the Niners, they'd go back and forth. I remember Kaepernick on Monday Night Football throwing a deep pass, 70 yards to Brandon Lloyd. Like, there was some great memories over the years, man. The Rams, Niners, Patrick Willis just eating them up, and they had Sam Bradford. Some fun memories over these years with the 49ers and the Rams. And then one of the craziest games, I'm sure I'll post this one, craziest games of all time, man. It was a Thursday night color rush. We wore the black jerseys. They wore the yellow jerseys. It was Brian Hoyer. I think it was the first week of the season to open up the 2017 season. We wore the most. It was crazy. Trent Taylor, George Kittle. Yeah, it was 2017. The black jerseys, Thursday night, and the Niners had them on the ropes. Carlos Hyde, we had them on the ropes, and they somehow won that game. It was such a high-scoring game. What a game. There's been so many moments with the Rams, and I cannot wait, man. I cannot wait. This is always a fun time. And now at Levi South, the 49er fans always take over that stadium. Oh, Mario says, how can it be close? Don't get me wrong, but they lost Ramsey, Kupp, and they got a bunch of new players. The D just have Darnold, but Sean McVay is a good coach. It's a division game. I don't think anybody expected them to beat Seattle. I know I didn't. And now, nobody expects them to beat the 49ers. I'm just saying, this game's going to be a lot closer than people think. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be a lot closer than people think because it's a division game. Anything happens in the NFL, division games. Look at tonight's game. The Jets, the Bills. Nobody saw this coming, especially when Aaron Rodgers went down. When Aaron Rodgers went down, nobody thought the Jets were going to hang. Nobody thought Zach Wilson was going to come out and do what he did. Any given Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whatever, you never know. Division games are absolutely unpredictable. That's why I think it's going to be a close game. You just never know, my man. You never know. Christine says we have to stay humble. Absolutely. We can't celebrate. We can't get hyped. We can get hyped. We can't sit here and talk trash until after the game. So I'm gonna do my best. I'm not gonna talk any trash. I'm gonna post the receipts. I'm gonna post the trash talk. I'm not gonna say anything. But if there's receipts that need to be posted, we'll post them up. Get some bulletin board material. But if the Rams are smart, they're gonna be quiet because they don't want to look like Patrick Peterson after this week. Holy moly, he was a chump. Division games can always go either way. Straight old stamps, absolutely. They can always go every direct. You never know what's going to happen with one of these division games. So, Christine says, let's do the trash talking after the win. Absolutely. That's how it has to happen. After the game, we're going to be smoking a Rams pack if the Niners win. So, and the Rams pack, it hits very well if the 49ers can win this game on Sunday. So I'm excited. And it's back to a 1 o'clock start. It's an afternoon game. You don't have to wake up too early. Although I normally don't like the morning games, but I will say, I kind of enjoyed yesterday. Morning game, got the game out of the way. And I was just chilling, enjoying the rest of the day, watched the games. It was not a lot of stress on my shoulders after, but I think it's because we won. Now, had we lost that game, it would have been a different day, tense. It would have been a very frustrating day. But the vibes have been very amazing since the 49ers won that game yesterday. So I'm excited, though. The West Coast time, 1 p.m. Pacific start. I like that a little bit better for me. I can sleep in a little bit. Yeah, West Coast has the time. I might need to sleep in just a bit because I work so much during the week. Nice to get a little bit of rest. Yeah, 1 o'clock over here, 4 o'clock on the East Coast. So if you're on the East Coast, it's a little bit later for you guys. It's a long wait. That's the one thing is you got to wait so long. I still felt like I was waiting all day for that 10 a.m. game. I mean, I woke up, 6 a.m. and I'm sitting there waking up. Woke up, had some breakfast, had some coffee, and I'm like, oh, when's this game gonna start? 10 o'clock felt like forever. So I'm actually happy it's the 1 o'clock game, but it does suck waiting around, but it is what it is. Mario says, I'll be driving to Levi south from San Diego. Have a safe trip. San Diego, baby. I love San Diego. It's a nice place. I need to head down there. I haven't been down for a minute, but have a safe drive, San Diego to LA. Have a very safe drive. Let's see. Let's take a few more questions and then we're gonna call it a night. Been a busy day. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your day, and hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. We'll be here covering it all. Again, this is the new channel, RSF 49ers Live. We restarted. It is what it is. We're going to keep posting live videos on this channel and keep building it up. Right now, we're close to 300 subscribers. We just started yesterday, so that's awesome. Appreciate all the support. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. Tell all your friends, all that good stuff. And we're going to keep on building on this page. So I just want to say I appreciate all the support. Everybody that was following the old page and that's back here, thank you very much. And we'll keep pushing and building this channel. Drip says, how was work? I didn't really work today. I did see 2 patients early in the morning. I had my home health job, so I didn't work at the clinic today. Was an easy day. I just went and saw 2 patients, visited them, hung out, and came back home and just relaxed and did some errands around the house. So I work at a clinic, rehab clinic, but I also work at like a home health company, and it's pretty cool. Sometimes I'll go to people's houses and treat them and do whatever. So some of them just need someone to hang out with and just talk, and it is what it is. So we'll do some exercises and walking and stuff like that, but a lot of them just need someone to talk to. So pretty cool. I mean, some of them really need some rehab, but some of them after they get to a certain point, they just want me to come over and we just talk. So it's pretty cool. But that's it for tonight. You guys have a good rest of your night. Happy Victory Monday one more time. And yeah, let's get another dub next week. Let's have a good week. We'll be here. I'll be live all week. Tomorrow, I'll be with Larry Kruger. I was supposed to go to tonight. Timing didn't work out, so I got a show with Larry Kruger tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be quite a busy day. I'm supposed to have like 2 shows tomorrow, maybe 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm supposed to be live with a couple folks, so we'll see how it goes, man. I don't know if I should be able to, if I can do 3 shows. I got a lot of work tomorrow, so we'll see, but I will be live, and stay locked in, all that good stuff. Bang, bang, not a gang. Blood Moon says, you think Patrick Peterson will seek you out? You don't want anything to do with me. I'll just roast them. Patrick Peterson. The L needs to be held, Patrick. Big L. Big L. Patrick Peterson, hold the L and don't talk. Zip your lips. I hope you learned a lesson. You guys have a good night.